It's Thursday night. You know what that means. The Comics Pals are live for Pals Pulls. We've got Tyler,
Hello.
Kale,
What's up, hot dog?
and me, your ever-present-ish host. It's been a lot. It's been a lot the last couple of weeks. It continues to be, but I'm here. We made it. What is up, Trap Zord? Thank you for joining. Man, Trap Zord, what's your streak? Because I feel like you've been really showing up regularly.
Easily.
Yeah, you want to talk about ever present? It's Trap Zord. Trap Zord's been here more recently, more than you have actually.
yeah. Probably more than all of us, actually.
Maybe. Yeah. I appreciate the dedication so much. We all do. So we have. Oh no, Marco by the way.
Yeah, Marco doesn't.
Marco has no dedication. I'm just kidding. So we have 4 books this week. I actually do not have the physicals this week.
You had to get a digital?
Yeah, that's how my week is turning out. Yeah.
Like are you good busy or just bad busy?
Take your pick.
Wouldn't good busy mean he went to the shop and got his books? Like,
I guess so. That's a good type of busy. That's true.
Yeah, that's what he likes to do, right? Like,
yeah, none of that.
So something derailed that. Thoughts and prayers for Sean in the chat if you can.
Thoughts and prayers.
So we've got Black Adam #1, Punisher Word Journal #1, Immortal X-Men #3, and Silver Coin #11. That's War Journal Blitz, by the way. So it's not, like a new #1 with the same titling that's going to be an ongoing. This is a one shot that will lead into other one shots. It appears based on what we got here. Not that it leads into them, but that there are other one shots, I should say. So just wanted to throw that out there. Before we get into the reviews, I do want to let you guys know how you can support the show. Our links to all of our stuff are always in the description. So if you want to get more specific and see what we have to offer, check that out. But I do want to make sure I mention the patreon.com/thecomicspals. For as little as $3 a month, you can support the show and you get to read our newsletter. Marco posted 36 pages, I believe, of newsletter this week. So if you are looking for torture, join our Patreon page and check that out. Marco's going through something too, and he is working through it using our Patreon page. Let's just say that.
He told us a little bit about it yesterday. He's crying on the subway.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I'm laughing, but I get it.
I don't.
Kale, what are you doing? What are you doing next week for Euro? How are you following this one up?
Do you want to know? I'll give you a tease.
Okay. All right.
Mine will include a video. It's going to be a Kale tries.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fun.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Okay. I think we might have mentioned it in the Patreon Discord. Is that possible?
If you're in the Patreon Discord, you already know.
All right. I'm excited for this.
That's interesting. Yeah, Trap Zord, thank you. That means the world to us. We appreciate it. So youtube.com/thecomicspals. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the videos, share them with your friends. All that stuff's free to do. We really are trying to grow what we're doing here, and that's a big way to do it. If you've got friends that are into comics that you haven't mentioned about us yet, please do that. And hopefully they decide to give us a shot. Catherine, welcome. Thank you for joining. And Thor Book Club. Thor Book Club is coming out next Tuesday. Or not next Tuesday. Two Tuesdays away.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 Tuesdays. So that'll be on the 4th of July. It'll be dropped. No, the 5th of July. The 5th of July.
July the 5th be with you.
You better not be dropping anything but me on the 4th of July.
Is that how you were born?
Wait.
Yeah. Oh, and that's Thor, God of Thunder, the Gore the God Butcher stuff, if you guys want to read along.
Is it the first 2 volumes? Is it?
Yep, volume 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally read it.
I mean, you have at some point.
Yeah, I have read. I own all the issues, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's dive in. Let's start with Black Adam number 1. So this is by Christopher Priest. I believe he's just going by Priest right now.
Yeah,
but,
we went the Prince route. Got it.
But yeah, so Christopher Priest joined.
Did Vince McMahon see his name or something at this point?
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
In WWE, there's a really stupid thing that happens where they cut someone's first name off a lot. So like a guy named Matt Riddle became Riddle, for example.
He doesn't do any riddles. It's not even a gimmick. He was an actual MMA fighter who had an established brand. It's just stupid. It's stupid. Yeah. Hi. Marty is in the chat. Kale, our previous DM who dealt with our shenanigans.
Word.
Yeah.
Marty, what's up, bro?
M. Chadorik, welcome. I probably didn't say that right, but welcome. Thank you for joining. Yeah. Let's jump in. So, Rafa Sandoval on art, Matt Herms did the colors, and Willie Schubert on the letters. So this was a surprise to me in a lot of ways because I did no research into what this book was going to be, and I certainly haven't been keeping up with Black Adam. The only thing I know about him of late is what happened in Dark Crisis, what's been going on, over there. So that's it. So this issue really surprised me. Tyler, you're probably more tapped in than I am. Do you know, like, was any of this new to you, or was it just new in general?
I don't think it's even new in general, to be honest.
Okay.
I think this is meant to be kind of like just jump in. Like, do you know that Black Adam is a guy that can scream Shazam and turn into Black Adam? Then you know what's happening here. I think the idea of Black Adam having that human persona has always been like, do I want to deal with it? Do I not want to deal with it as a writer? I don't think he ever really showed up in Bendis's run, his human side, whose name I always forget. Black Adam was just Black Adam. Yeah, Theo or something like that. But yeah, I think this is kind of like just jump right in sort of deal.
Okay. You know what? I wasn't really feeling it, I gotta say.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I know that people have said that they really enjoyed it, and that's great. I'm glad for that. But I think Christopher Priest is a talented writer. I found a lot of the dialogue to be grating and very stereotypical, and that frustrated me a lot.
I was hoping to get your take on that. I think specifically the one POV character or the young character, I guess.
Yeah.
Who will become our POV character is the way it seems. What was his name? The younger
Malik.
Malik.
Yeah. It was it reminded me of that I don't know if it was Kotaku or IGN who did a review on the Miles Morales video game.
Yeah. All the swagger of a black teen.
Yeah. It kind of had that kind of feel to it. The character did have a distinct voice. I'll give him that. That's for fucking sure. But it got a little too much. It became cutesy after the fifth page or fifth panel, really. I think that needed to be toned down a bit. I do think the voice for Black Adam is good. I like how he's this diplomat who does not give a shit.
It felt very Tony Stark when he's doing the Senate hearing thing.
Okay.
Was that Iron Man 2 or whatever?
Agreed.
Which I guess was fine for a character I've literally never, or a half of a character I've literally never seen or heard before. Doing exactly that, fine.
It just felt like Priest was overselling these characters to us. Like, let them kind of, chill out, dial it back, and, just say something interesting with them. Here's an example of dialogue that I thought was not it. So, Malik,
can you just go full into it, Sean? I want you to go method for this.
All right. We'll see what happens. So Malik is speaking with Theo. They're cousins. They're related to Black Adam, or to some degree, whatever. And Malik says, I'm about to open Gangnam Style up in this piece. Now, I have never, ever, hold on. I have never met a black person who ever said open Gangnam Style. Okay, that's number one.
As a verb.
And right. And number two, that was popular like 7 years ago. That was a long time ago.
And that's the thing. Priest is kind of an old fella now.
Yeah.
So
that's what it felt
Not
like.
great.
This felt like when Bendis is trying to write younger people.
Mark Waid doing modern Archie.
Yeah. But I gotta say, it was so bad that I enjoyed it. It circled back around for me. It got like so. I was like, oh man, this character is annoying as shit. These are references that are very dated. And it just got to the point where like, this is stupid. I kind of like it.
I enjoyed it at first when I thought, oh, okay, random doctor, whatever. That'll show off this guy's character. Great. But then when it became clear he was an ongoing character, I went, oh, I don't like this.
Not only an ongoing character, it looks like Christopher Priest, or rather Priest, is putting the black in Black Adam.
Yep.
Where Black Adam's going to be a black guy coming up.
Well,
possibly.
Yeah,
or that one
probably.
half of him will be. His Billy Batson side will.
The Rock playing the character in film is probably the reason for that.
That's true.
And you know what? I do have a problem with that. To answer your question, Kale, the reason is because I'm assuming you were joking, but I do want to address it
Specifically at Tyler, because
yeah,
it would be a problem if I said it to you.
No, my issue is, look, you know, there is a difference between being black from America or black from wherever and being Egyptian. You know, that's not the same thing. And Black Adam being from there, being Egyptian, representing that, you know, group. What's the matter, Tyler?
I'm hoping we get some Hotep style stuff with this Egyptian black merging here, Sean. You think that's something we can get in this book?
I don't know, man. You know, I don't know. Like,
Black Adam just wears an ankh going forward. Like,
it's just weird to take away from a character who is not. There are hardly any characters with Black Adam's background, and then put him on the sideline to kind of do something else. With black, that's cool, but like, there are other black characters. Like, can we just keep doing what we've been doing with Black Adam? Whatever. I'm off my soapbox on that. I just couldn't with the dialogue for the most part. That's my biggest thing.
Really like the art, especially that Desaad Dark Side Black Adam fight. I think that was real
cool.
good. When Black Adam's choking out the Nazi looks like he's enjoying it a little too much. That looked like a cum face. But yeah, the art in this is very good, especially that splash page of Black Adam after he Shazams out again and becomes Black Adam, and like, oh, he's infected with some kind of necrosis or whatever.
Yeah,
I think it's a good page. I thought the art was very good.
You know,
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It bugs the hell out of me that saying Shazam and using that particular aspect of the Shazam power, the lightning, as a weapon, is used so often for these characters. Especially, and it especially doesn't work for me with Black Adam.
Agreed.
Because that dude is so powerful.
Yeah, I'm with you. So we should also kind of talk about what's happening. I feel like most of the issue is just setting up the reveal at the end. But it's just Theo, Black Adam's, you know, human counterpart, you know, being a boss, going around talking trash. He has a meeting with some political people. He puts them in their place because he's a badass. He gets called a Karen by his cousin, who is the doctor, Malik. Malik gets arrested. So there's a lot of shenanigans and stuff like that. And then ultimately we get to a point where Black Adam tells Malik that he is going to be replacing him as Black Adam. So really the first issue is just set up for the second issue, which is where we actually get to the story of this thing. That's fine. I don't have a huge problem with that. And it does everything it's supposed to do. It introduces us to these characters, explains who they are and what their sort of issue is. Doesn't quite tell us what these characters want yet, but I don't know if the want is in play. Overall, it's functional. I just could not get past the dialogue. So I would say pass. But if you're interested in, Black Adam's comic book stories, this is where he's at. So
This is the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the hook. I like the idea that Black Adam is dying. It feels like that's going around lately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a villain. I'm dying. But I don't know. This and Poison Ivy, I think they're just two characters that it's working for me for whatever reason. So I like the hook, but yeah, I gotta say pass. I might trade weight this one until I find out how it comes out. I do wonder if, because they're not gonna kill off Black Adam, Teth Ahmed or whatever his name is, the guy, right? I wonder if they're gonna set up a Black Adam family.
That was the vibe I got.
Okay.
That could be interesting.
I would like to see Black Adam sacrifice his cousin. That would be pretty cool.
Don't be a Karen, Sean.
Oh God.
For me, like, I enjoyed the issue, but I don't think I'd recommend pulling it. For me, this is like if the buzz is there by issue 3, yeah, I might jump back in.
Yeah.
And like catch up or something. Will this be something I read like on a DC Universe app? Yeah, I think so. But like I can't. Yeah. It's 12 issues. Like I would say pulling it at this point seems like a long haul that I don't want to deal with for a year. If it was like six issues, maybe. But for me, it's like not yet. Let me hear about it first.
Yeah, I get that. So you guys are passing too?
Yeah.
All right.
Is it our first unanimous pass on the show?
No.
We
all passed. The book I can immediately think of is the Buffy book.
Oh, yep.
That we read. Yep. That was a hard pass. Unfortunately. All right. So let's talk about the other number one we're reviewing this week, Punisher Warzone Blitz. War Journal, sorry.
I made the same mistake in the title of the stream. Don't worry.
War Journal Blitz. So this is by Torrin Grandbeck. This is our second week reading a book by Torrin. Last week we read the Thor. What was it called? Thor, Jane Foster and Thor or something?
Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was last week.
Yeah, right? I think so.
Oh, feels like an eternity ago.
Oh, no. It wasn't. It was 2 weeks ago. I wasn't here last week.
Oh, it was your last week. Yeah.
It was your last week.
So what's happening right now?
Nothing. I'm not recording. We're not live. We have to talk to you, Sean.
Lad Medina on the art, color by Antonio Fabella, letters by Corey Pettit. So this is a story that takes place within the current time frame of what the Punisher's doing now. He's the leader of the Hand. He's not really about that gun life anymore. He's more about, swords, katanas, stuff like that. He's got the new logo, which this issue does a really funny thing with his logo where, there's like the current time and then there's a past time flashback thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
And in the flashbacks, this dude is wearing a ridiculous, like, Punisher is not rocking this leather jacket that's closed to cover his old logo. It's so funny what Marvel's doing.
I didn't even think about that, honestly.
Yeah, it's fun. It's hilarious. And so it's a really like small story about Punisher going after the new hate monger. And, they've had an encounter before that hate monger survived. Punisher's not about to make the same mistake twice. And it's the Hand versus hate monger. What did you guys think?
I had fun with this.
Me too. Yeah, I like a good one-shot Punisher story.
I think that's about all I want to handle for the Punisher.
Yeah, it's a good amount of Punisher, I feel.
Yeah.
And this reminds me of the old Punisher War Journal books that always kind of went side by side with, they'd be releasing a Punisher book and a War Journal book or a Warzone book, where the war, noun books were always, I felt, a little more one and done as opposed to telling this giant story, because Punisher's the kind of guy you can tell that story with. It's a one and done story. Like, he kills people, end of story. Like, just tell a story within that. That is literally your frame. He kills the bad people. Have at it. And what better way to start that with other than with hate monger of all people. And I think this tells a fun story. It's got ninjas. It's got pin particle grenades that are used very effectively in really fun ways. It's got polar bears. I thought this was like good, stupid fun. Maybe that's why I had the typo where I wrote Punisher Warzone, because this is how I feel about the Warzone movie.
There you go.
The idea of Frank Castle just wanting to kill people who are bad, and then up the action times 100. And that's what this book was. And I thought the Lan Medina art was real good. It wasn't overly flashy. It wasn't trying to be something it wasn't. It was just straightforward Punisher, and it was real good.
Man, Lan does a great job with the action.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of these pages, like the page where Punisher is gassed, where they unleash that gas, and the like couple of action sequences where he's running, knowing that he can't breathe because he'll die to the gas, but he's still got to kill this woman. Like, those are some really great pages, those pop-in panels. So it's like, I wish I could show you guys, but in the background, sort of, I hope I'm explaining this well, you have Punisher running into this room, and the woman is there with her gun and her gas mask, and Punisher's running through. But then the pop-in panel shows them about to start fighting, and then the next one shows the fight. Then the next one shows a close-up on her face, then a close-up on him trying to pick up his sword. Like, it keeps the action really flowing without bombarding you with panels. So it's not confusing to look at, and it's actually not overly flashy, but it makes the action exciting.
I also really like the flashback just before that, when it's revealed that the hate monger was in this crowd hidden in the barn that Frank was in, and he's the man that Frank spoke to. I thought, obviously that's, writing direction or whatever, but I think it's portrayed really well. Because you look at the other guy, the first time, and you're like, oh, that's just a regular guy. But then he tosses the blanket off and he puts his sunglasses on and he becomes the hate monger. And it's like, oh, I get Superman.
Right. Like, it's a transformation.
Yeah.
And he uses his generic look to kind of fool the Punisher.
That was very well portrayed.
Yeah, it's good stuff. That's like a little commentary on, you can't judge a book by its cover, for lack of a better phrase. Like, it's good stuff. I really enjoyed this issue. I normally don't care too much for mindless action, and this was that. I kind of like it when Punisher stories have some type of morality at play, or a bigger question that's unsolvable. This didn't really feel like that. I guess hate monger tries to make the point that the Punisher is just radicalizing people by even killing hate monger. He's creating more hate mongers, more hateful people in the world. Point taken, but hate monger still has to go. There's no way around that. It's good.
The Punisher will still be around for them.
Yeah. Yep. War never ends. In the immortal words of who said that? shoot, is it Predator?
Carrot
Is it
Top.
Predator?
Oh, okay.
No, it's
Carrot Top.
I forget what
Gallagher.
movie it is.
Yeah, famous Gallagher quote: "War never ends."
Boosh.
Yeah.
A watermelon explodes.
I would say pull this if you like the Punisher and you want to see him kill a racist.
Hey, when you say it
If you
that
want
way.
to see, if you want to see racism die, pick up Punisher War Journal Blitz.
Man, this along with Cody Rhodes, I think racism's done in this country. I think we're good.
The only people who can defeat racism are white men.
Yeah, that tracks.
Wow. Who knew we had the
Yes.
power all along?
Mhm. Yeah.
Some would say, nope, not saying it.
Oh my God.
Not saying it. Not saying it. I would also pull this book. I thought that was fun. This was, even though some guy's head gets exploded and it looks like what happens to, spoiler alert, Glenn in issue 100 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Like it's I don't want to say harmless fun, but like owning the book itself is harmless.
Wow, Tyler. Nice spoiler, dude. I was on my way to reading that.
You were at 99, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I stopped a long time before that. Kale, where you at with this one? Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's not what I would normally go for, but I don't know. I think I personally would have to be sold, but this is me selling you on it. Yeah, pull it. It's good. It's fun.
And I like Torrin Gronbeck. Like,
I think I do too.
it's always fun, you know. Now I'll speak for myself. Now that I'm like a veteran of reading comics, it's fun to see new people come up and what their ideas are, and
Yeah.
that's been a really fun part of the last 10 years of reading comics. This newer guard coming up.
Yeah, I don't. Other than Jane Foster Thor, whatever it was we read 2 weeks ago, I don't know that I've read anything by this person, and I think I really like them.
I would recommend checking out her Valkyrie stuff. It's good. It's good stuff.
Okay.
Valkyrie, there's Craven involved. The Talking Horse, who's smarmy. Like, gotta love a talking horse.
You know what? I agree. Let's talk about Immortal X-Men #3. Oh man, let's talk about Immortal X-Men #3.
Before we talk about the book, can I talk about this Mark Brooks cover, the A cover?
yes,
It's Destiny, I guess, floating away with her cape, and all the characters that mean stuff to her are in the cape, and it's just using the form of a flowing cape to. It's good. It's a good Mark Brooks. Come on,
Mark Brooks is undefeated.
you gotta stop it. It's too good.
What an amazing comic book. Kieran Gillen wrote it, of course. Lucas Wernick on art. Dejo Lima did the colors. Clayton Cowles on letters. This is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
This was amazing. So, Destiny, for those of you who are unaware, quick recap. Destiny was resurrected through several shenanigans on the part of Mystique. She impersonated Professor Xavier to give Hope a Cerebro helmet to enhance her powers. So basically, the five exist, and then Professor X is separate from them, but they're all required to resurrect people, resurrect mutants. And there's sort of an inherent checks and balances to that. You also need Sinister to get the DNA of that person to bring them back. So there are all these different, you need like 7 people to do it. And Mystique, because they would not resurrect Destiny, impersonated Xavier, gave Hope a Cerebral helmet, impersonated Xavier, forced Sinister to get the DNA for Destiny, and they brought her back. So they circumvented Xavier and Magneto's plans. Destiny is a precog, which means that she can see the future or potential futures. And that was bad for the Krakoa that existed at the time because of Moira and all her shenanigans. Now, getting into this issue. Destiny's powers have been on the fritz. She was in some kind of a coma or like a like a vegetated state, something like that. She was done for. Emma couldn't save her. She's just out. And the whole issue is her inner monologue, sort of showing us potential futures, talking about her love for Mystique. Very good stuff on Kieran Gillen's part, juxtaposed with a conversation that the council is having about what Mystique did. So those are pretty much the two parts of this issue. And I want to focus first on Destiny's mind and what she's going through as she kind of like comes back into consciousness. What did you guys think about that part?
What I liked about it is, for me, and I would say most readers, Destiny is not a well-known or popular character. She hasn't been around in, I think, decades, plural is the right answer there. It's been a while since she's been around. So this serving as a kind of reintroduction of who she is, I think was necessary if she's going to be a major player in the X plot going forward. And I think it does a great way of doing that and also moving the plot forward at the same time. Because we could have just had like, oh, here's the Destiny Explainer 101. There's your issue. But there's actual forward momentum happening at the same time, which I think is pretty well done. That is a skilled comic book writer to be able to do, two birds, one stone there. I like how it raises the stakes because it really solidifies her relationship with Mystique. And what easier way to add stakes to a story than love,
Love against a ticking clock too.
Yeah, and then in both of the people, or maybe more, Mystique, a lover who will do anything to keep that love going forward. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it, and it also showed her power set in a way where like a precog is like almost like a Deus Ex Machina sometimes, which I think is originally why no precogs was a rule. I think there was a writer's rule for it too. Like if precogs are there, how do they not know this is happening, sort of thing. So introducing her power set as like a way of like, yeah, she can see the future and she can see all these things, but only really the form of the future or these anchor points, nexus points, which is a big Marvel term across the board. Scarlet Witch is a nexus being. And how that kind of, it makes her power set powerful, but not all powerful, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like there's still interpretation that needs to happen. I enjoyed it, especially the first half. Yeah.
It's funny. I had to read issue 2 to catch up. And so when I finally got to the credits page for issue 3 here, which is on Comixology, is page 13. I went, man, how long has it been? And I was having a great time. And then it got into like the stuff that she can see and like what she, the now versus like the stuff that's coming up. And that felt to me it felt like Hickman in a Gillen way.
Yes.
I don't know. Damn it, this might have gotten me excited about the X-Men again.
Yeah, this was the issue. This was the issue that I needed. It kickstarted my excitement. Everything else has been like ho hum. I see why Kieran Gillen was sought after to join the the X writers room, if you will.
The one thing that I'm like hung up on is because I agree with you guys. I'm in the same boat as you, but also I can't tell you where things are going. Like sure, Sinister's up to his sinister things in the background, and we got some potential future scene here. But like, where is our story going? I don't know. And maybe that's part of the point, because Destiny also doesn't really know.
Yeah, I have to imagine the next big step has to be dealing with Clone Moira.
Well, what's so exciting to me is the fact that, you know, Destiny really, really threw a monkey wrench into things in a way that, you know, we knew she was the ace in the hole, you know, for Mystique, and that she was going to upend stuff. I don't think I really realized how important she was going to be going forward and how much she was going to shake stuff up, but she really has. And the fact that she doesn't know what's going to happen, but that she knows that what Sinister's doing is leading us to an eventual future that ends the timeline outright. That's crazy. That's wild. I really enjoyed her sort of like monologue part. I thought that was all great. I think writers Hickman, Gillen, they've gotten a little bit too flowery with the verbiage as it relates to Destiny and Mystique's, you know, love for each other. I totally get it. They'll burn down anything for each other, blah, 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 blah. They say that every issue. So I'm a little bit weary of that language, but otherwise it was all excellent. Juxtaposing that with, you know, this reveal of what Mystique did. Now the council knows Mystique's big lie, which is a turn on what we saw happen in Inferno. That was a great sequence of pages. Yeah, go ahead.
I also like the emphasis Gillen puts on their love here, especially for the end reveal that Destiny believes she's writing Mystique's death. And it really hammers down like the struggle that's going to come between them is, you know, Destiny knows or thinks Mystique is going to die, and she's not going to be able to do anything about it because that's her whole job. And Mystique is this, you know, insane being who's madly in love with Destiny and will do anything to keep that going.
Right. And, you know, this is an argument that I was making in the Inferno days, but I think it's even clearer now. Destiny and Moira are not different in basically no way. So Destiny and Mystique are willing to do literally anything to preserve their love. And everything around them could burn. They don't care. That's stated several times. They do not care. Moira felt the same way, but for the preservation of Krakoa, of mutant kind in general. And it's kind of frustrating that the characters in this issue don't react to the revelation about Mystique in the way that they did the revelation about Moira. And I wish there was more. I wish the whole issue, I wish we could see an entire issue of that conversation with more of the council members present, because this is equally as bad in my mind. You know, they put a lot on the line, and they manipulated a lot of people to get this done.
I think Destiny says it pretty succinctly, though, as like they're surprised a mutant whose power is to deceive them. Like, that's Mystique. That's who she is. So
is that an excuse?
What discussion is there to have, though? Like, that's
get her out. That's they had that discussion about Magneto and Xavier. Why are they not having it about Mystique? Why?
I think they were about to until Destiny barged in, which he strategically barged in. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, I also thought Kate's reaction was ridiculous. I just didn't buy that.
Refresh my memory. What
she says that Professor X is being basically she says he's being a hypocrite,
a big jerk. Yeah. Wink and a nod.
Yeah. One thing that annoys me about Destiny is her name is Irene Adler. Is there a specific reference to the Sherlock character, the Sherlock Holmes character of Irene Adler?
Go ahead, Kill.
My understanding is that in the Marvel universe, Destiny, Irene Adler is who inspired Sherlock Holmes's Irene Adler.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I wasn't as clear on it, but I knew there was. I remember reading about a very direct connection there. So this issue's a lot of politics, a lot of conversation, but this is why I love the Krakoan era so much. It's these kinds of scenes and moments.
Politics.
Yeah, honestly. And when Destiny shows up to the meeting, that really again upended the conversation and turned the issue. She's telling them that there's a war coming, and she knows that Sinister is going to cause the end of everything. What did you guys think about that? That couple of pages where Sinister, that's
the Exodus as the Phoenix Force,
right? Exodus,
Universal Church of Truth is the kind of vibe I was getting,
right?
Or his power was based on faith with his mutant power, but like mix him with that becomes otherworldly, I guess. It just seemed like another universe, it just showed like, oh, this is how bad it could be if you don't stop Sinister. It could get pretty damn bad.
Super end game.
Yeah, the Shaw skin on the ship was gross. It's disgusting. I'm like, somebody just watched a Cronenberg movie in preparation for Crimes of the Future or whatever. So,
Gene Corsair is what they call Sinister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say, because I've been lukewarm on it in the past. The Lucas Wernick art is pretty good.
Pretty good. I thought that sometimes the faces were a little bit too expressive, especially with Mystique. There were some like comical levels of expression.
I really like those moments though with Destiny when she's in her agony or whatever. I really thought the reality of like her poses and her suffering or whatever, I really felt it. I feel like Wernick really sold that.
I don't think I have never seen Mystique look like that. Like she's normally got such a hard face,
cartoonish like that. Yeah.
So no, I mean like her devastation in those panels that you were referring to. It really helped to sell her sadness because we never see her like that. I thought that was great.
Yeah. I got some Greg Land vibes. I don't know if it was the way Wernick was colored or some of the shading or whatever, but there were a couple of faces right after Sinister takes Mystique's form. The face that Mystique is making, it looks a little too referencey in that way that Greg Land does,
That's fair. Yeah.
I don't know. That's not necessarily a positive or a negative. It just reminded me of that.
This is my book of the week by far. This is my book of
same.
This is my book of maybe the year so far. Like this was so good.
So you're running for Eisner nominee for best single issue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. This was not my pick of the week.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Next one is.
I mean, I would hope it's not either of the ones we just read.
No.
Well, I guess maybe Punisher, but yeah, this was incredible. It sets the stage for some really interesting things to happen, and it cements Immortal X-Men as the book to read from the X books. If you want the one book that's really driving the ship, Kieran Gillen is clearly the captain now. Look at him. And the next issue is not going to slow things up because it's going to be focused on everybody's favorite, the White Queen, Emma Frost. Pull this.
There's going to be my issue of the year. Emma Frost, one of my top 5 characters in comics.
More like my tissue of the year. Hey,
ew, ooh, yucky.
Wow,
ew.
For me,
cover though.
For me, it really depends on the length of her gloves.
She's got diamond hands on the cover. Does that count? Is that a technical glove? No?
We have a technical glove on the
Is that a yellow card? I don't know football.
All right, let's talk about Silver Coin. So Silver Coin 11, this is by James Tinian with art by Michael Walsh, did the letters as well. Colors by Tony Marie Griffin and Michael Walsh as well. and then there was a backup issue by Adam Gorham. This one's called The Diner. We were reviewing Silver Coin pretty steadily for like the first 5 or so. Put it on the back burner. I thought it'd be fun to come back to it. It's an anthology horror series, so you really can't go wrong with picking up any given issue. But specifically because it was Tinian, like, sure, why not? Let's do it. And I'm really glad we did, because I thought this was excellent.
This was icky. Like, I don't know. It's like the first word that comes to mind. I have been reading this since the jump, and I haven't. It might be consistently my favorite or close to ongoing book currently. I don't think it is so consistently good, no matter the issue, that it's impressive. And if there's one thing Sandman's taught me, I love a good horror setting in a diner. Like the diners creep me out now, thanks to comic books. Like, I don't feel comfortable in a diner anymore. No, there's the idea of this like typical Americana setting, with people that are just struggling to just get by, and seeing the silver coins evil aura affect them in really graphic and gross and violent ways. It's great to see these people go and get into pain. Like this is what this whole series is. It's people down on their luck who get a coin, and pain comes around, and it's cathartic for me.
Basically, the silver coin is like it's an item of power in this universe that gives whoever holds it the ability to cause absolute chaos, or to get exactly what they want, but at the cost of something. So in this particular issue, as Tyler pointed out, it's a struggling diner. They don't make much money. You know, it's so bad that there's only a staff of like 3 people here: a cook, the owner, and a waitress. And one day, a dude comes in and he's like, "Oh, I left you a tip," and the coin is there. And the next day, there's a line out the door to eat there, and the people who come in cannot stop eating.
The wish is tomorrow morning I want there to be people in this fucking restaurant, and I want them to be fucking hungry.
There are people in the restaurant, and they were hungry, endlessly hungry.
I love when a wish gets, like literal meaning behind it. And like what happens. It's like a typical horror, specifically a horror anthology trope that I just enjoy. But Sean, the guy who gave the coin, I believe, is a character from issue like 3 or 4. The guy who was like burning down houses or whatever, or there was like a firefighter who was like an arson at the same time, or some weird thing like that. I believe this is a returning character, so maybe this is between his story and he's trying to learn what this coin can do.
I feel like I sort of guessed that last week.
Yeah.
I think I thought he was the firefighter who picks up the coin at the end of the first issue when the rockers burned down the
could be
the bar, or the the venue.
Yeah, that makes sense. Did we just go down?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very simple story. We laid it out. There's nothing else that really happens in terms of like major beats. But it's nasty. It's a nasty comic book.
Yeah.
It's horrific. It's violent. It's gross. The cook is cooking with humans at a point where they ran out of meat, but you got to keep cooking. People got to eat.
The owner's reaction to the cook with like a body right next to him on the counter or whatever, right? She goes, "Oh," and then for me, the next thought was, "Yeah." I was just, it's another night at the Waffle House, man.
I mean, that's what corned beef hash tastes like. So,
I loved the owner. She was a great character.
She's a lot of fun.
No nonsense, and I love the way she handles the eventual situation that they're in, where she's like, "Hey, I own this establishment. I'm responsible for whatever is happening here. I'm not going to run from it, which she could have. She sends the waitress away. She's like, I'm doing you a favor. Leave. Don't come back. She knows that she's going to die, but she's going down with the ship.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed that. This issue felt like a commentary on capitalism. Like, I don't know if I'm overreading, but yeah, I mean, I guess so. But like just feeding people without a care as to their well-being in it. Like they just keep, oh, you want to eat? Eat. You know, an unreasonable amount of food. They clearly know that something's wrong, but they don't care because people are paying their money and that's it.
It's consumption.
Media consumption, maybe.
I could see that angle.
There, yeah. Sorry,
and also, yeah. Go ahead, Tyler.
I was just going to confirm what Kale was saying. This is the guy at the end of the first issue. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I love the silver coin because they managed to get some of that commentary in, but there's no line of dialogue in this at all that like explicitly signals towards anything like that.
Yeah.
It's, you know, if you don't read into it, it's a straightforward, disgusting horror story.
Yeah,
that's it.
Man, good horror does that though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I do like the format of the series too. It being a different writer, but the art is the same. The artist by Matt Walsh is the same.
Yeah.
Because the art being the same. Yeah, that's Matt Walsh is a improv comedian. Cal, am I right about that one? He's one of the UCB guys. Yeah, so Michael Walsh, because it helps the story go along and it helps set a tone for it, and then the writers can kind of twist that in subtle ways. That fits their own thing. Like Jeff Lemire's story was set in the far future, you know, like I think it's a great way to do an anthology. Yeah.
Did you guys catch that people were eating their silverware in this?
Oh, the dude, I laughed out loud when I saw the guy eating the plate.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
I was thinking that. I'm like, why is he eating himself before the plate? There's got to be something in there, you know.
Trapzord says if you read it in a really southern accent, it's hilarious. I could see that.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that. I
think that was a request, actually, Sean.
From who?
I think it was a request to read that in a southern accent. Do you want to pick a page?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, not me. I can't do southern. Kale, can you do southern?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the right one.
Did you have? I know, but like, did you have a southern accent?
Not really. No.
Okay. All right. Just read the wish, I guess, in a southern accent.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see. The wish. All right, let me get in a character here.
Okay. All right.
Stephanie. My mom's name.
Entry word.
It's basically an impression of my grandmother. Stephanie, tomorrow morning I want there to be people in this fucking restaurant, and I want them to be fucking hungry.
Man, I want some grits now. Nice one, Cal.
I'm going home in a month. And I'm just racking my brain of all the things I'm going to be eating. I'm going to be so sick.
Don't eat this much. That's for sure. Learn something from this issue.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Also, like, can the human body eat enough to cause the stomach to explode? Like, if the brain just like if they were able to override the brain.
If you override the brain, you can do anything.
I guess you could do anything. You could probably drown yourself too. Yeah.
Like it only takes like a little bit of force to bite into something. Like if you could shut your brain off, you could bite your finger off like a carrot.
Cool.
That's fucking horrifying. There's an illness called Prader-Willi disease, and one of the things
Prader-Willi, I barely know her.
Prader's Willie.
One of the problems that it causes is a lack of self-control on eating. So like there's a video, It's like a little documentary thing, and it shows this kid who like literally starts to lose their mind when they hear when they hear the ice cream truck outside. Because
wait, there's a name for that?
What?
Because I got that. You should see me trying to. You should see me I could put on pants quicker when I hear the ice cream truck than anything else. I'm looking for change. I'm looking for money. I got proper Willie syndrome, I think.
Oh my god.
Got the proper Willies. Yeah.
Oh my god. That's I don't need.
Hey, Sultan of Swing. Nice of you to join us on this at this moment.
Welcome, Sultan.
Couple that with the disease that takes away the feeling of pain. Man, you're in trouble.
Well, what if you feel the pain but you can't stop eating?
Then you're really in trouble.
That's this comic, I guess.
Yeah.
My man was eating his glass. Oh man, brutal.
Hey, Cannon Shout, what's going on? Yeah, we're talking about comic books. Talking about the Silver Coin number 11.
Cannon Shout.
At this point, are we ranting about comic books?
No, we're just talking about proper Willies right now.
I've heard so many good things about the Silver Coin. Yeah, Silver Coin is really amazing. This particular issue is fantastic. So if you haven't read it before, there's really no reason not to just buy this comic book. We all are saying pull it.
Yeah, it's my pick of the week. Yep.
You don't need to have any familiarity at all. All you need to know is that the Silver Coin has power and it makes really bad things happen. That's it.
Well, one thing that we haven't mentioned, and I don't think I've even thought of until this very moment, is the color palette that Michael Walsh chooses throughout every issue. It's this cool but eerie, heavy on the like grays and blues. It's not quite black and white. There's color involved, but none of it is a happy color. Like there's this dreariness in color at that. It's one of those things where like the coloring is so good I don't recognize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a cool, like dulled out color. But then whenever they get to a page where, you know, there's violence or blood or anything like that, we get those reds that stand out so much more because the rest of the book doesn't have, you know, he's not using standout colors otherwise. So, it's really, really gross. Cannon, by the way, how'd you find us? Glad you're here. Definitely pull it. And if you say you haven't had the courage to read it, you should.
It's scary. So if you don't like horror, maybe don't. Or do. No. Maybe you'll find something you like.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's it for our reviews this week. That's it for the books. But we still have Comics Tag. Now, I wasn't here last week, so I do not know who was tagged.
Oh, you were tagged, Sean. You didn't read?
That would have been a bad idea because I didn't want to listen to the issue or the episode because I didn't want to do a power bomb to be spoiled for me. So,
but yes.
Please.
I was gonna say I was gonna let, since I have the
please
the control of this. I was gonna say Marco tagged Kale last week. He actually gave Kale a choice. There was a blue pill, red pill situation going on where Kale got to pick one of two boombox books. One of them was Scarlet Hood, which I believe Marco has talked about previously.
Yeah.
The other one was the one Kale picked, which was Mamo by Sass Millage. I was looking for the Mambo #5 sound effect on here to just throw in here because funny. But A, I didn't want to get DMCA'd for any amount of time.
It would have been worth it.
Mambo #5 kind of worth it. Lou Vega though, he's notoriously litigious. I'm making that up. I have no idea. I have no.
Wow,
idea.
Why would you just say something completely made up about Lou Vega? Lou Vega.
Is it Lou Vega or Lou Bega?
Lou Vega, national treasure. Okay.
I suffer from Lou Bega constantly. It's right in my stomach. It's horrible.
What is that? Come on,
but what I was gonna get at, so the song starts with ladies and gentlemen, this is Mambo #5, but somebody cut the ladies and gentlemen, we got him Osama bin Laden announcement with
What?
Mambo number 5, and I just didn't have time to get the actual audio out of it. I'll describe it to you. There we go.
Thank you. It's much funnier when we can just hear it, but appreciate it.
Sure, I did okay.
I thought you were dedicated to this podcast. You're gonna come here and tell us what you were gonna do.
Can I tell you why I didn't do it? I was eating chicken fingers, and they were like they were like too hot, and I thought I wouldn't get to them in time. They're like fresh out the fryer. But
Here we go. It's food pals.
I already ate on purpose, Sean. I was very hungry, so I knew I had to eat, and Mambo number 5 got cut because of it.
Okay, let's talk about
Let's talk about Mambo number 1.
Well, number 1 through 5, actually. So
Sure. Okay. All right.
So Mamo is the story of a teenager who goes on the search for a witch to help her save her town. And the town is being sort of infested by all of these weird magical things. Trolls are throwing rocks at people. Trees are growing into houses. And it turns out the witch is the granddaughter of the town's old witch. And through some shenanigans, they fall in love and realize that home is where the heart is.
A lot less cliche, I hope.
Yeah.
Probably not. Oh.
But it's good. It's really good. The art in this book is absolutely incredible. It's very I don't know. I hesitate to compare it to Steven Universe, but that feels like my closest point, specifically because the way that Sass Milligan draws nature is so atmospheric, and it's very lush. You sort of see it there.
I have the first cover on the stream, which has a lot of that.
It's a really fun story, and you know what? I always come into Comics Tag ready to hate whatever is recommended to me, but I'm actually really glad I read this.
You picked this one too, because I re-listened to it earlier. You said, I'm going to pick this one because it sounds like I won't like it compared to the other two.
Yeah.
And hate reading is better content.
Yeah.
But you know what kills me? You know what's so bullshit, Kale? You're the only one who picks books that nobody's going to like.
Yeah. And
why do you come in ready to hate the book when you're the one who picks books?
Because that's the game. It's not my fault you guys aren't doing that.
No. I have picked things that I thought the person would like.
I have yet to do that. And just because you guys are doing that doesn't mean I have to play by the same rules.
That is fair. I just don't understand why you'd be prepared to hate the book.
Because I expect you guys to be on my level. And you're not. Right. Congratulations.
I would never stoop there, Kel.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you.
Okay, so you liked it. I'm glad to hear that. Now, who are you tagging and with what?
I would like
before you tag, hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mambo number 5.
All right, I found it.
Right.
I found it. Yeah.
Thank you. That was worth it.
I didn't play the actual music. So.
All right, Kel, you're right.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I really enjoy this. I'm actually very glad Marco recommended this. So that's it.
Yeah. Nice of Marco to show up to see that.
Right. So my pick is going to be for Sean.
Yes.
And guess what? You ain't going to like it.
Nice.
I want you to read Asterix.
Oh.
Yeah. Really, you can do any one of them because they're serialized. It's not a big deal. I think you should do the first one, Asterix the Gaul. So Asterix is a
wow. All right.
So it's a French Viking comic. and it's very, very cartoony, Donald Ducky, but it's wildly famous.
Yeah. This is like what's the Tintin? It's like Tintin levels.
Yeah, wildly famous. Still going, still putting out new stuff. Unlike Tintin, they haven't made new stuff, but Asterix and Obelix are actively still putting new stuff out.
Sean, if it excites you, this book was originally published in 1959.
Yeah.
So now for the oldest comics tag I think we've ever had.
It has to be the oldest comics tag, yeah.
If you don't want to read it, I did see that the hour-long film is on YouTube.
Oh, guess what I'm not going to do?
You're lost.
Shoot. I really wish I had a thing to do next Thursday.
You have a whole week.
That doesn't mean anything, Tyler.
To come up with something. Do you want me to help you come up with punishment for Kale? Do you want to?
Oh, dude, yeah.
You can tag him right back. That's not a rule that we've never had.
I'm going to tag your ass back. I'm going to get you, sucker. I'm going to get you.
Yeah, I'm never going to do comics tag again. It's just going to be a volleyball game.
I tried to give you a good book, and you spat it in my face.
You know what? I might read this as well. This feels like something...
Why would you subject yourself to this, Tyler?
It feels like something I should have in my comics DNA. Like something that I should have read. I've read Tintin. That shit racist at some points. Holy shit.
At some points.
Yeah. Not all of it.
My man was working for the Nazis. I don't think it was by choice, but
so was Donald Duck. Not by choice, but you know.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dark. All right, I will do it, and I will report back next Thursday. And I promise you, Kale, I will return the favor.
All right, I'm not scared.
And Sean, you have to do it, or else there's going to be an asterisk on comics tag. You know,
Marty says there's some asterisk that hasn't aged well either. So, rad.
Point me in that direction. I want to feel the anger. Yes, I want to feel it flow through me. I want it to inspire me.
I genuinely thought about giving Sean one of the racist Tintins.
I don't care. Do it. Dude, I'm game for whatever. Let's go.
It's Pride Month. It's not Black History Month. Can you get away with it then?
You can get away with it now, yeah. But
all right,
Black
I'm just
History
giving you a pass.
All right.
Why they get the shortest month? Never mind. All right, that's
you know why.
Yeah, that's fair.
My God, what a show. Let's get into Pals Pulls. Pals Pulls is the segment where we tell you guys what we're looking forward to next week.
Sorry, I saw what was problematic in Asterix. And same issue Tintin had. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah. So I am pulling a new #1 from Marvel next week. Variants. This is by Gail Simone.
Finally.
And Phil Noto. You can tell me there's a Phil Noto book. I'd be interested. You can tell me there's a new Gail Simone book. I'd be interested. You can tell me there's a Jessica Jones book and not tell me who the creative team is on it, and I would be interested. So these are 3 things that I'm interested in. So I will check this out. I like Jessica Jones as a character a lot. Probably one of my favorite characters. Yeah, give me more of her. And then Phil Noto too. Kale, is it you or Marco that's not too hot on Phil Noto?
Marco.
It's Marco, isn't it? Okay.
I like most Phil Noto.
Yeah. And this involves multiple multiversal variants of Jessica Jones all coming together for something. I did not read up on it because I want to read it, actually. And then I'm also picking Iron Cat #1.
Oh, which God.
Is a new #1 from Marvel as well. This is Jed MacKay continuing his Black Cat stuff. But this time teaming up with Iron Man in a Iron Man suit that she stole. It's stupid that this is being called Iron Cat and there's a new #1. Like, I know this is literally to sell action figures or some shit like that. And you're trying to get, it's like Gwenpool or Spider-Gwen or something.
And didn't Iron Man and Hellcat just get married or whatever? I thought this would be that.
Dude likes him a cat. I think him and Tiger were also a thing. So
well, I mean, listen.
I get it.
Cannon Shout is having a meltdown in the chat.
She stole a suit, Cannon. She just stole a suit.
Yeah,
And she put her gamer headset on it. She just modded it a bit. Little cats on it.
Yeah,
can't wait to put this on the episode next week. Are you on the episode next week, Sean? You're on Pal Schools next?
Yes.
As of now, yes, you are. All right, so maybe I'll be. So the art on this is by Pere Perez too, which it's Pere Perez and Jed McKay, which is like a pretty good fucking team. So I'm interested in this. This could be fun.
Yes, Tony Stark is married to someone that isn't Pepper
I don't know yet.
Right, yeah.
There was a proposal. Yeah. I'm not sure if there was a marriage yet.
I don't think the actual wedding has happened yet. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not like the biggest comics Iron Man fan.
Sure, yeah.
But I believe that the Pepper Potts Iron Man thing was kind of like exaggerated for the movies. Because in the comics, since I started reading them, they've actually never been together.
I don't think they ever really pulled the trigger on that, to be honest, in the comics.
Yeah.
It's always been like a flirtatious, but the boss-employee dynamic was always there,
Right.
I think it wasn't really until the movies where they kind of toyed with it, but never really went full hog, raw dog on it,
Jesus Christ.
Is that not a saying?
A full hog raw dog?
A full hog raw dog. How now, brown cow?
It is now.
How do you think
that's my vocal
their kid?
exercise, what I do. Marco, not here, but he picked Swamp Thing number 14. Swamp Thing's a Green Lantern, maybe.
Who
I don't
cares?
I agree.
Why do you do this? Stop it. Who cares?
He told me after I already made it. Yeah, he also picked Kanto, Tales of the Unnamed World, number 1 by IDW. Kale, you picked a Power Rangers book?
Oh, yeah, I did. I have to wait
it had a
for
virgin
the thing to come
variant
up because
on
I can
it,
never remember.
It's a virgin variant that does not have the title on it. I will do some digging.
It is Power Rangers Unlimited Road to Ruin.
Countdown to Ruin number 1.
Countdown to Ruin. So this supposedly is the next step into the next big Power Rangers thing. This story revolves around Andros and his best friend Zane, the Red and Silver Rangers, respectively.
Okay.
Oh, man, I wish I could react to this. I don't know what any of those things meant.
The in-space drama for me was like some of the very first like real drama that I got into, and like Andros and Astronema and Zane and their whole dynamic was just, man, it had me gripped. And so this explores Andros and Zane's friendship from whatever planet they're from, and how they met, and all that stuff. And evil is coming.
Nice.
As they say. So yeah, I'm excited.
Cannon says this looks right up my alley. Kanto looks really good. It's a shame that the person who pulled it isn't here to talk about it, but if you end up checking it out, you should let us know your thoughts. We'd love. You
can join our Discord. We'll talk about it later. But you can join our Discord if you want to talk about this. We are always talking about shit like this, or people recommending other books to people. Link below. All right.
I think there Discord are people reading Kanto in the Discord.
Yeah.
Sultan, are you one of them? Are you still here? Anyway,
all right.
Read Power Rangers.
Get into one of Sean's polls. A book starring Stephen Bannon, apparently. Judging by that cover. But A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, number 9, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. So I admitted I was completely wrong about this comic book. It's actually amazing. We talked about issue 8. We reviewed issue 8. We were blown away by how good it was. Now I need to keep up. I want to see what's going to happen next. I'm on the hook. And you know what? As it turns out, Rick Remender's never done me wrong. I did Rick Remender wrong. And so I apologize. Rick Remender, I apologize. I was
listens
wrong.
to the show, for sure.
Of course he does.
Yeah. That dude definitely listens to comic book podcasts. That's the exact kind of vibe I got off of.
Rick Remender doesn't even do comic book podcasts.
That's true.
What is he listening to?
I met Wes Craig at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And I interviewed him. And so after it was over, I was like, do you think Rick would come on the show? He was like, oh man. He was like, I don't know. I'll ask him, but he's just not, he doesn't like to do them. And I don't know. And lo and behold, we haven't had Rick on the show. So
I don't even think he's been on like iFanboys show, who like or even like a Word Balloon, like the podcast interview shows that I know of. Yeah,
the dream. That's what I want.
You also had Buffy 97 #1. So you're trying another Buffy #1.
Look,
man, fool me once.
Fool me once. Shame on me. Fool me twice. Shame me more. Because I can't stop. I love Buffy. I love Buffy comics. This cover is fire. I just, not that cover, not the cover that Tyler's showing. It's the other cover. Buffy on the cover. Buffy is doing this hand sign, like an X
Wakanda
with
forever.
basically the Wakanda forever, but she's got two stakes in her hands, and it reminds me of DX when they used to have the glow sticks.
Wait, did DX originate Wakanda Forever?
Yes, Triple H is the originator of Wakanda Forever, which is notable because Triple H is part-time black, so it all works out. Blackface, remember they came out with blackface? Yeah,
I remember.
I know it's a pull.
Kale, I think it's
a lot
cultural
of
stuff.
things you just threw in my face.
I know.
Triple H once fucked a corpse on TV.
That's true, and also a lot. Canon, Tokyo Ghost is phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of it. We haven't done a book club on it yet, but we probably will if I get my way before the end of the year.
Sean, did you mention who the writer is?
I'm sorry, I didn't mention shit. So Max Bemis. Max Bemis is writing this, which is pretty cool. And Mariana Ignazi is on art, I believe. It's a weird book. It's like a comedy. It's turning Buffy into a comedy TV show where things end up being more real than they seem to be.
Yeah, reading this blurb, Max Bemis, lead singer of Say Anything, one of my favorite bands growing up.
Yeah, okay.
But it seems like the show is if Buffy were a single camera sitcom.
Yes.
But the actual story is that this is happening to the actors who are playing Buffy. Is that what I'm reading into? It's like meta on meta?
Yes. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, that's how I was reading it too. It was a very hard blurb to read that I don't even want to say out loud. But It is interesting. You know what? I think I might get burned twice as well.
You know what? I think this podcast might get burned twice because we might just end up reading it.
But also, I do like Max Bemis's work. Max did some fun Moon Knight shit a couple years back, and another book with Iban Coelho a couple even further back, maybe 7 years ago. But
yeah, Max Bemis is pretty good.
Yeah.
What was my other one?
No, you already did your other one. You're good. That's it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I did.
Yeah, 2. We get 2. Kale usually takes 1. If you want one of Kale's next time, you can let me know.
Nah, that's all right.
You talking about
the one this time?
Yeah.
There
was not usually.
Fair.
All right, so that's our show for today. Thank you guys so much for listening. Before we cut out, I do want to let you guys know that if you enjoyed this, make sure that you leave us a follow if you're watching live on Twitch. Even if you're not, head on over to twitch.tv/thecomicspals. Leave us a follow. Watch our main show live at 10:15 a.m. every single Saturday. Start your weekend with the Comics Pals. Go ahead, Tyler.
I will say, if you have questions for this week's show, please give them in.
You guys are going to be fine.
I'm just saying, we have half the opinion, so timeline-wise, if you...
opinions we have lots of. Don't worry.
If there were 2 people to have on the show who can just keep talking, I think we got the right 2.
Interesting.
You should come up with a game for me.
Oh, I've been trying to think about it. Trust me.
Oh, that's kind of fun. I like that. I can't wait to hear what you guys do. So yeah, and then this very show, if you are not watching live, can always catch at 6 p.m. Eastern every single Thursday. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/thecomicspals. For as little as $3 a month, you can support your boys. YouTube.com/thecomicspals. Subscribe for free, like the video, share it with your friends. All that's free. Helps us out a lot more than it costs you. Last but not least, join our Discord server so that you can be a part of our community. We've got a lot of good people. Most of the people you heard us reference here who were in the Twitch comments, they come from our Discord server. So if you want to hang out with those people, please do join. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week. Until then, take care, guys.
See you next week.